Welcome to the Hot Mess Cosmic Express, where we talk about the stars, shuffle a few cards, and never pretend to have our shit together. Hey guys, welcome. I am professional tarot reader and certified moonologer Darcy Britt, and today we are going to talk a little bit about the upcoming full moon in Gemini, and I'm going to give you a couple of things to do to help you work with it so that you can stay on track to reach your goals. Full moons are notorious for big energy, climactic energy, big conclusions, and if you know a little bit more about where that's going to happen in your life, or where, I guess, how that might feel for you or around the people around you, it really helps you to navigate it and not like get caught up in all of the shit. Okay. So let me break this down for you really quickly. Your mind and the thoughts and the way that you communicate, not only to others, but also to yourself, are going to be a really big focus as we come up across this full moon in Gemini. And basically the focus of that is, are your thoughts and the things that you're saying to other people, are those lined up with what you're saying that you want bigger energy in the world? And the reason being is the moon is in Gemini, sun is in Sagittarius. Those two energies are in a little bit of a clash. Sagittarius is big world energy, cultural, big views, right? So bigger picture kind of thing. But Gemini is ruled by the planet Mercury, and it's all about the mind, and it's all about the communication part of it. And so this full moon in Gemini is really gonna focus the energy on figuring out how your instinctive thought patterns, so how your emotional, instinctive thought patterns are possibly holding you back from where you want to be. And what I mean when I say your instinctive thought patterns, so things like, I always screw this up. Nothing ever works out for me. You know what? Go figure. Everything always, gets screwed up for me. Those are the kinds of things I'm talking about. Personally, I often tell this story. I have a serious problem with the negatives. I'm a Virgo, so Virgo sun. And as a Virgo sun, I say things to myself that if you heard them out loud, you would probably just be mortified. To be honest, it's a terrible, terrible dialogue that I have inside my head. And it's very, very critical. Not of anybody else. That's the thing. It's 99.8% all about me. And so oh shoot, Tracy's not here to keep me back on process. Oh yeah. So anyway, one of the things that I find myself doing in that critical part is saying, I don't care. And when I say that I'm saying I don't care, I don't mean that I'm saying it in response to anything. Sometimes I can just be brushing my teeth and I'll hear myself in my head say, I don't care. Or I'll be going to get in the shower and I'll be like, I don't care. I'm like, wait a minute, what in the hell is wrong with you? What do you mean you don't care? If you didn't care, this is, of course, me talking to myself, right? If you didn't care, Darcy, why would you be doing all of this? That is not something that you should be saying out loud because you do care. And I'm sharing that with you guys because, it's honest, right? That to let you know that, I do have that negative self-talk that's there. And also just to help anybody else understand that if you just randomly say whacked up shit for no reason and catch yourself, it's okay. You are not alone. You are in good company. I promise. Now what I'll tell you, because we talked about how the whole point of all this is how to work with it, right? So if that's where the focus is going to be, and I need you to kind of think about your thoughts and what you're saying to yourself and how that's really lined up with the rest of what you're trying to do. Law of Attraction 101. That is that like energy attracts like energy. And so if you are being a negative Nilly inside of your head, but walking around and telling everybody that you're doing all these things and you've got all these big goals, it does not matter. What's going on in your head is what really matters. And if that is negative, guess what? Negative energy will attract negative energy. And so you've really got to stop the negative self-talk and be more cognizant and aware of what you are saying, not only to yourself, but the rest of the world, versus what you say that you want as far as your goals go. And here's an example that I'll give you. So let's say that you're looking for a relationship and you're really, really, you are an awesome freaking person. You've done all the things. You are doing all the good things, gotten all the brownie points with Jesus, whatever it is, so that you can find this absolutely amazing, healthy, and supportive relationship. But when you're out with your friends, you're bashing other people, or engaging in, when everybody's getting together and they're, pissing and bitching and moaning about their significant other or their partners, and complaining, you're chiming right in on it. That is you communicating, right? So you're speaking. That is not in alignment with what you say that you want. Those are the kind of things that screw you up. So those are the kind of things that I want you to try to pay attention to as we get to this full moon in Gemini. Are the things that you're saying. So I guess I should rewind that. Think about your goal. Think about what you really, really want. What is that thing that you're trying to get? Right? So you can write it down, you can think it, you can say it out loud, but you know what it is, because as soon as I said it, that popped into your head. Now, I want you to pay attention for the next 24 hours. Are your thoughts, words, whether they're written, whether they're thought, whether they're spoken, it does not matter. Are every which way that you're communicating, is that lined up with the goal that you say that you want? And if you can be aware, it's funny, somebody posted in our Facebook group, the Hot Mess Cosmic Express, you can find us on Facebook, but a friend shared something, and it's a little like meme for the full moon, and it's a werewolf, which we all know come out at the full moon, but it's the full aware wolf. And I thought, oh my God, that is so perfect, because really that's what this whole thing is all about, is becoming more aware of what your emotional instinctive reactions are to the things that are going on in life, because life is never going to stop. But if you can become aware of what you do and how you react to things, awareness is the first step, right? Then you can decide, does this work for me? Yes, keep doing it. Rock on. Good for you. Does it not work for me? Are things not working out the way that I want them to? Guess what? You've got to change. But so I just love that whole full aware wolf kind of thing. But so if you can just do that over the next 24 hours and be more aware of everything. Honestly, if you are, I'm sorry, I keep hitting the microphone. If you are truly trying to manifest, I'm going to tell you guys right now, you have to be as positive as you can be. You almost have to just shit rainbows. And I know it sounds crazy, but I am not joking. Here's the thing. It's the law of attraction, right? You're attracting things. I promise you, here's a fun experiment. Go to the grocery store. Walk through the grocery store with a big smile on your face and your shoulders back, and smile and compliment 5 people as you walk through the grocery store on something random. Just whether, hey, you know what, your shoes are great, or hey, you know what, your makeup looks great today. I promise you that not only will you have changed 5 other people, right? Because I can tell you what, you probably can remember every time some random stranger has complimented you on something. You'll change their lives. But I can promise you that when you go to leave there, your entire energy will just be lifted up, because you have just radiated this positive energy. And because like energy attracts like energy, you put out there all of these positive, amazing, badass vibes. And guess what? When you walk out of there, you feel like a positive, amazing badass. That's what the law of attraction is, and all of these things. So but it also goes down to your thoughts, right? So if let's say you walk into the grocery store and you're pissed off and you're thinking about everything from the day, and you're you're going to walk out of the grocery store having bought a whole lot of stuff that you probably didn't need. It just keeps snowballing. So bottom line, just keep your mind on your mind. Keep your mind on your mind as we move to this full moon in Gemini. That's going to be the really big thing. I just want you to pay attention to the thoughts that are running around in your head, and figure out, okay, well, when all of these things happen, and I'm doing all of this stuff and life is coming at me, and is what I'm saying and what I'm doing, is that aligned with my big picture goal? And actually, another friend told me a really great way to say this was, think about it as a spell. So if you were casting a spell, and your words, and you can do it whether my words inside my head are a spell, or the words that I say to other people were a spell, what kind of spell have I been casting? And that's pretty deep. I like to use the thoughts inside my head. So let me repeat that, because I know that my words sometimes come out a wee bit jumbled. So think about this. If my thoughts inside my head were a spell, what spell would I be casting? Now, if I really wanted to be honest about that, going back to the story I just told you guys, my spell would be that I don't care. Fuck. That's a heavy thing to take in when I'm the one saying that I'm a manifesting coach, right? When I'm the one who's talking about the law of attraction. Number one, just goes to show you nobody's perfect, right? We all get on and off and on and off. Awareness, again, awareness is the key. But that's pretty deep. If I wanted to answer that honestly, and hopefully you guys take a second and you can answer that honestly, what's that one fucking thought that always pops up in your head? Is it a positive thought? Is it, I'm a badass? Then that's amazing. Then guess what? Then that's an amazing spell to cast. But if you're like me and you're realizing as we come up to this full moon in Gemini that the spell you're casting is not really what you want to be, is not really who you're telling the rest of the world that you are, or that you say you want to be, or that you're trying to be, this is the time to sit down and be like, okay, what am I going to do to fix this? So before I leave you guys, I'm going to tell you what I do to fix this, because just like I said, I'm a manifester and I'm a law of attraction, love it to death, right? I manifest, promise you one of these days I'm going to do a podcast. I quadrupled my salary last year manifesting. I just have not gotten a chance to get out here and tell you guys exactly how I did it, but I promise I will. And yes, I said quadrupled. So took my salary and multiplied that times 4. And I manifested that consciously over a year and a half. And I will explain to you guys one day how I did that. But so again, and part of being able to manifest is understanding when your thoughts aren't lined up. And I can consciously say that I'm acknowledging my thoughts aren't lined up. So here's what I do. When I catch myself doing that whole I don't care thing, I stop. I'm like, okay, stop. And I literally say stop. I talk to myself all the time, but I'm just like, stop, Darcy. And again, I do say my name. Stop, Darcy. You do care. What you're saying is not true. Okay. So I'm acknowledging it, but I'm like, stop, you do care. That's not true. You do care. And then what I've done is I've chosen, so I would also suggest that you choose some sort of cognitive behavioral therapy, some sort of technique, a flick, a twist, a fling of a rubber band, whatever, something to help kind of ingrain or train yourself to get rid of those thoughts. So what I do is I have a girl, her name is Julie. She's like that little blonde girl from like the School of Rock. She like sits right there. No offense to any Julies out there. I do not know a Julie. So I promise this was it's just, I've always just called her Julie. But I will say, Darcy, you do care. Just stop saying that. And then I brush my shoulder. And when I brush my shoulder, in my mind, I see Julie slowly, sometimes quickly, falling to her death. Hi, Julie, in a slowly passive-aggressive way. But the point with that is, the more often I brush my shoulder, the less often I brush my shoulder. So in theory, I'm teaching myself every time I say, I don't care. It's like, Darcy, you do care. And you'll see me. Sometimes I go this way. If you're watching on camera, I kind of, toss my hair, or sometimes if it's a really heavy thought that I'm having in my head, I'll do both sides of my shoulders. But I'm not always just flicking my hair. I'm flicking Julie. And if you ever go back and look at previous episodes, you may see how many times I actually do that and think, wow, she does have a whole lot of negative thoughts. However, awareness is key. And I figuring out that I've gotten into a little bit of a negative pattern is just what this full moon in Gemini is all about. So that's really what I want to encourage you guys to do. 2 things. Sit down and think about if my thoughts were a spell, what have I been casting? And to get yourself on some more journal questions that I have written specifically for the full moon in Gemini, head over to Facebook and look up our Facebook group. It's a public group. You can join it. I posted the journal questions in there tonight, I think at like 7:00 or something. But head over to the Hot Mess Cosmic Express Facebook group and you'll find those oh my gosh, totally blanked out. Find those Gemini full moon questions there. As far as this show goes, I'm going to leave you guys with that because that's quite a bit to contemplate. And I think I kind of had my own little epiphany as I was saying that to you guys. And I need to go think about that for a second. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera. So, Darcy Britt, this is the Hot Mess Cosmic Express. If you guys would like more information, please, please, please head over to our Facebook page, the Hot Mess Cosmic Express, and you'll find information there on how to join our group as well. And then follow our show, like our show, share our show. Got some messages to get out there to the world, and we think we've got something good here to talk about. And we would love it if you guys would share our shit so much. So with that, I hit the microphone again. I am so sorry. But with that, I am going to sign off. This is Darcy Britt. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, guys. Bye.